to go to this place where they're clearing out this land and put in like shopping centers and stuff like that. So I talked to one of the guys, and they're going to let us have some of the logs, some of the timber. I think it's mostly pine, maybe some hardwood. So we're going to take a couple of chainsaws with us. We got the trailer emptied out, so we're going to load some in there. Now it's a 5x8 trailer with 2.5-foot sidewalls. So we're going to cut these logs down to 6 feet and get them loaded up, 6 or 7 feet, and get them loaded up in the trailer. But before we head out, we want to make sure we have everything. So, you know, you guys know I love chainsaws, and I have all kinds. So what I'm going to be taking is the McCulloch Pro Mac 1010. So I just sharpened the chain, make sure we got fuel and oil. We're going to hit the oiler here and make sure it's loading up on the oil. We're also going to take our Pro Mac 55. We're going to do the same check with that. Take some Husqvarna oil and some of our fuel. Just set up there. And some gloves, ear protection, you know, just the regular stuff you want to take with you. We do have some properties that we need to do today, but we're going to do this first and then go unload the wood out of my father-in-law's place down in Conroe, which is about 30+ minutes from here. And we'll do videos on another day of all of our chainsaws, cutting quality, you know, how fast can it cut. I'm going to get a couple different sizes of logs, so that should be a good video. Sharpen the chain up, you know, these kinds of things that you want to look for. Compare the old power saws of the day compared to some new saws of today. So it'll be a good comparison between a 455 Rancher and like a Pro Mac 1010 or the Pro Mac 55. I also have a Mac 15, Power Mac 6, I have an Eager Beaver, and I have a McCulloch 610. I have a Steel MS 170, an Echo CS 310, the Echo battery operated 58 volt chainsaw, a Husqvarna 240 X Torque, and the Husqvarna 455 Rancher. And then I also have an Echo Timberwolf coming. So you know, it'd be really neat to see some comparisons between the old heavy duty high torque muscle saws compared to nowadays where it's low torque but higher RPM, smaller chain. So really difference in technology. So anyways, let's load up and hit the trail. Take a look real quick where I'm at. We're at this open field. See all these logs back here? There's some big ones right there. Those guys are huge. They're clearing this field across from this HEB, and they're going to put a huge shopping center here. And the guy right there on that Caterpillar excavator gave me a lot of work. Took him about, I made 2 cuts on these 20-foot pines, and then he loaded it up like it was nothing. So I paid him $50. He tried to say, no man, you don't owe me anything. I was glad to give him the money. And so I'm excited. So now we're going to go unload these at my father-in-law's place. You got to be real careful because there's a lot of weight on that back part. So we'll see how we want to do that. But anyways, let's get to driving. Right now, I'm listening to Andy with Cut and Clean Lawn Care and Randy with G4 Outdoors. Alright, now we need to get these guys out of here. These guys are pretty heavy. We might have to. I'm going to show you something, friends. Whenever you have a saw and you can't quite get the high and the low adjusted just right, here's a little rule of thumb that'll work on pretty much any 2-cycle engine. Take your high and your low, turn them all the way closed, both of them. Close them up, righty-tighty. Then you're going to back each one out one complete full turn. That's pretty much going to give you your baseline. From there, then you can adjust either a little more or a little less. And remember, you adjust the low first, get that baby running just right. Then you want to squeeze the trigger full throttle and adjust the high. That's a little tricky because the chainsaw here wants to vibrate so much, so sometimes I have to let go of the throttle, adjust a little bit more, then go back to it again. So let me show you something, guys. So what was happening is our oiler down in here, our suction pump, was clogged up. There's an old filter in there, just super clogged. I mean, you're supposed to have this in there. It's a filter filament, but it's so old and crusted and hard it can't absorb anything. So hold on just a second. Let me get you guys cleaned up here. Hopefully that's better. So I couldn't get any oil out on the chain. There's no damage done to it, so I took the screen, that's for bigger things, and then this small filament here is for, you know, the smaller stuff to filter out. But in this case, you know, we need to run it, so we'll run it just with the screen. Plus there was a lot of sludge in here just because it sat so long, and I haven't gone over these couple of old saws, you know, took them apart thoroughly, cleaned them really good. I haven't done any of that, just with the other few that you've seen. So we're gonna go ahead and put this guy back on. Looks like there's a little bit of a crack right here, but it hasn't gone all the way through. But what we could do is we could add a little bit of JB weld in there, and it wouldn't take much and should be fine. As long as you don't drop it, it should be okay, or tighten it too tight. I think you'll be okay. Let's get this guy back in there, in that little corner there. It's a little warm. Alright, so we had to take this apart. It was filled with our bar and chain oil, but we had to dump it out. I didn't, I just dumped it out to discard it, and I'll put fresh oil in here. A lot of times these saws, they sit for years and years before they get purchased by the next owner, and before you use them, you really need to go ahead and spend the time to thoroughly get them all cleaned up. I didn't do that, so that's why I'm having a little bit of this stall right now. So we're going to go ahead and get some bar and chain oil in here, and it should be good, and then we can go online and we can order what we need. We'll order a few of those filaments and a new screen as well. Now it may be where you order that whole hose and it comes with that instead of individual pieces, so we will find out about that when we go online. It's a pretty big tank. I can't quite see how full it is. Maybe a little bit more should be okay. Leave enough for the other saw too, which should be full. Maybe a little bit more. Alright. I need to get more bar and chain oil here. We're running out. But that'll hold us in. And you got a lot of these old caps that have that little dirt and grime in here, and you know, you want to make sure you clear that out because it'll prevent you from sealing that lid really well. A little bitty piece of dust, it won't seal right, and you have oil that goes everywhere, or it'll end up cross-threading. So get that in there. I think that'll be good. Alright. Oh yeah, see, now we're leaking some oil. So now I know it's working good. Oh, we got oil on our housing here. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and put everything back together, and I think we're ready. Kind of a messy deal here, but sometimes it just happens. In your work truck, you want to make sure you keep some extra towels, extra cleaner, you know, anything you think you might need. There we go. Whew.
we have here is the Pro Mac 55. So we're definitely gonna cut some of this up. On this guy too. That Pro Mac 55, it's just begging for wood, begging for wood. As hard as you could push it in there, it's cutting. It's slowing down for nothing, it's hungry. All right guys, so we got a mess here to clean up. We're gonna roll these guys over there, let them dry out a little bit, and then we'll come back another day and we'll go ahead and bring out all of our chainsaws and try them all and do some different experiments. And you know what happens when you have a dull blade, a dull chain, then you sharpen it up with a good technique and boom, cutting like butter. So the next time we come out here and we tackle this wood, we're gonna have all our chainsaws with us and we're gonna have some fun. So I appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you putting up with my dinosaur chainsaws. I'm Kevin with Texas Better Lawn Service. We'll see you guys next time.